Okay, today, this time, we're going to talk about the top 4 things first-time homebuyers should consider.
Yeah, I really like first-time home buyers because whenever you show them a property, they get excited because it's a completely different thing than from what
It's a big
they
deal.
were. It is a super big deal.
I can't remember what type of test it is, but they tested like for the most stressful events, and it's like death, divorce, buying a new house. It's like up there. It's
Yeah.
up there. It's in the top 5 to be sure.
Yeah. But we want you guys to have the easiest transaction and the easiest way, and so that's why we're trying to get this 4
Get you
things
prepared, yeah.
so you can be ready for it.
So the number 1 thing you should look at, the first thing you should look at before you go anywhere else is
your credit score.
credit score. So we'll do a separate video on credit, but the things that I always tell people when I'm walking through credit, I was like, this is not your information, this is their information. They are creditors. They are telling other creditors how credit worthy you are. So if you've always used cash, if you're always maxing out your accounts, if you're always overextending, or if you're not using it often, those are bad things.
I think that one is something that people don't realize, that just because you have the money doesn't mean you don't use credit.
You don't. Yeah. Having
And
money is not credit.
it's not. And so it's really important. It's just like, when you want somebody to do something good for you, you usually start doing good things for them. So I feel like it's kind of like the same thing with credit.
Yeah.
Like if
Same story.
if you have a good credit score, it's because you have used loans, but not necessarily because you need the loan, but it's more of because you want to keep up with that good name on your score, right?
I always tell people as soon as possible, get 2 credit cards
Yeah. So
right away.
So it's super important for you to know where you stand right now. If you go to most of the credit unions, they will let you know your credit score like automatically. It's part of their app and stuff like that. And so it makes it easier for you to follow it. It doesn't mean that what they say is exactly what a lender will use, because that's a different story.
There's multiple scoring models
Yeah.
depending on what industry and what type of loan you're looking at. We're
Yeah.
going to pull up different information that gives you different weight to generate your score.
But it definitely gives you a good sense of knowing what are you in. It will let you know if you're on the 700s or on the 500s, or
Or
you
no
don't
score
have
at all.
no credit
Yeah.
at all, no score
So
credit.
looking at your credit, the next thing you want to look at is how much money do you have for what? So there's 0 down loans, and you can come to me with 0 money, and I can get you into a home if you qualify. But what are you going to do about earnest money?
Yeah, if you haven't seen our video about earnest money, I would definitely recommend it for you to see it, just because we talk a lot more of what is earnest money and how it works. But earnest money is some money that you will need for sure if you want to buy a house. It's just as important as your credit score.
So the earnest money goes to a place, so that can be part of your down payment, but how much do you have for earnest money, how much do you have for down payment,
Yeah.
and then really importantly, the next thing is how much do you have after closing?
Yeah, those are 2 important things that involves your savings, and especially if you're trying to save for your down payment. And maybe you don't really need a down payment, but you still have that extra money. Don't think that you can just use it on whatever. Just keep it, because your house usually after will ask you for so many other things that are not in the picture when you're looking for a house.
So you buy the house, you move in, you have a little money left over, something breaks.
Yeah. And even though right now, as an agent, I always ask for a home warranty for you guys to have, meaning that if the refrigerator is not working or the water heater is not working, they will fix it, or sometimes they will even replace it. But there are some other things that they do not cover, and you want to be sure that you are going to have enough money for those other things that might not work with a home warranty.
Right.
And there's plenty, but
look what the home warranty covers, look how long the protection is, and look for other things. So what if your lawnmower goes out, what if your car breaks? Make sure, I always recommend you have a slush fund of a couple $1,000s.
Yeah, definitely. Having extra money, it's never a bad idea. And another thing that for first-time home buyers, I think it's important It's the actual payment. How much is that going to be?
Oh, that's really interesting because you can have principal interest payment, but then you can have mortgage insurance, you can have taxes, you got homeowners insurance. Is there an HOA? What other fees are involved, and how's that going to come out of your budget?
Yeah, and especially right now, there's a lot of people that are moving for first-time home buyers. You're moving from a rental to a home, and what if that rental is like some person that has rented your house, rented you, and their rent is just like super cheap because they know you or because they thought that you were really cool or whatever reason, and your rent is super low, and then you're going to buy a house because you're so excited because you have this extra money, and it turns out that your payment is going to be triple what you were paying on rent. And so be careful on that. I mean, I'm not saying the rents are cheap because they are not, but they will be different costs of the.
Well, and if you have a rental, because I have people who they have a rental, they're already paying for utilities, but it's a basement apartment.
Yeah.
And they don't realize how much the electricity bill is in the summer on a top unit of an HOA or in a house.
Yeah.
Right? So ask a little bit about what's going on and find out what those real costs will be.
Yeah, check especially different cities have different utilities rates basically. People say that Provo has the cheapest utilities because they get everything done in the city, but lately I've noticed that it's not true. I've had a couple clients that were like, wow, I mean, I don't know why my receipt came like this big or this much, and I was like, oh wow, yeah, that's now that you mentioned, it's true. So we have to be careful of what is really happening. How much are you going to be your utilities? Because it's not the same to have a basement apartment than to have in a whole house or a condo or in different places. So that's important to know, and that's something that we can help you, because if the house is something that it's already been lived in, we can always ask for, okay, so how much is the utilities, and yearly or whatever, and they'll let us know and save you a headache for the future.
Plan on something.
Yeah. Well, if you have any questions, you should call Jason.
Call me. I'll walk you through it. I like money.
Yes. Yeah. And we'll see you on the next video.